So other stories now. The president of Cameroon, Paul Biya, has ordered the release of 333 prisoners who had been detained in connection with an Anglophone separatist rebellion. A statement from the president said he had decided to stop their persecution in the military courts. It was read out by a government official at a major conference that is trying to resolve the conflict, which over the last 3 years has left thousands dead and 500,000 people displaced. However, it is not clear if Mr. Biya's directive will free any detained senior separatist leaders. The crisis started when lawyers and teachers went on strike over the use of French in courts and school in the English-speaking Northwest and Southwest regions. In October 2017, activists declared autonomy over the two regions, a move rejected by President Biya. Some took up arms, resulting in violent clashes with government forces. Analysts say the order is unlikely to appease the hardline Anglophone rebels who, citing years of oppression, are insisting on the creation of a separate country called Ambazonia. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has held a town hall meeting with Nigerians in Pretoria, South Africa, as the last part of his visit to the country. In attendance were Nigerian professionals and socio-political groupings. He says his threefold message to them was simply, be good ambassadors, excel, and remember home. Our correspondent, Betty Dibia, reports.
The town hall meeting began with a moment of silence for Nigerians who have died in South Africa. Nigeria's High Commissioner to South Africa, Ambassador Kabiru Bala, was indeed pleased that the president finally came.
And I'm most grateful for your coming, Mr. President.
Various members of the audience had a thing or two to say, from deliberately branding Nigeria to technology transfer and even reserving positions in various fields for Nigerians in the diaspora.
So, Your Excellency, I want to ask, will your government, in all kindness, consider a bill that will perhaps reserve some percentage of certain positions in various sectors in Nigeria for Nigerians in diaspora? Thank you.
Some positions in government for Nigerians in diaspora. Thank you very much for your answer. Yes.
The president also reminded Nigerians to remember that the nation is judged by their conduct at all times.
Second, in whatever legitimate engagement you find yourself, you must strive to excel and be the best. Third, while you are out in diaspora, do not forget home. You represent some of the best human assets that Nigeria has.
The chairperson and chief executive of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa, says the president's handling of the recent violent attacks on foreign nationals and subsequent visit goes a very long way, especially for Nigerians.
We hope for results. We hope that we won't stories of, these attacks will be a thing of the past, and what matters is follow-up on the part of both countries, because they have senior government officials at both levels to follow up, and the meetings will be more regular. And also, very importantly, to take the education to the people, to the grassroots.
I'm so happy about the visit because all this, throughout this crisis, we are living in fears. But the way our government reacted made us to feel relaxed.
I think we can go further in cementing this relationship. We can go further in cementing this relationship by understanding that we need each other as a community, we need each other as individuals, we need each other as countries.
The president has since left South Africa to return to Nigeria. From Pretoria, South Africa, Betty Dibia, Channels Television News.
Now, health workers in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo say the 100,000 person to have recovered from Ebola during the current outbreak has returned home after being cured. More than twice as many people have died since the outbreak began over a year ago, partly because of suspicion and mistrust have undermined efforts to stop the virus spreading. In a situation where there is such deep mistrust of attempts to deal with Ebola, these survivors can play a crucial role. The health workers say they help persuade other people to seek treatment immediately. The UN's Emergency Ebola Response Coordinator, David Grassley, says every survivor gives health workers reason and motivation to continue to enhance the fight against the virus. But he adds every survivor is also a reminder of the lives they were not able to save. In South Sudan, participants at a 3-day forum aimed at ensuring inclusive and active participation of communities in peace building in the country have underscored the need for including all stakeholders in efforts to restore peace. Various delegates discussed various efforts they have engaged in to promote peace, while also highlighted some of the challenges they have experienced. The event saw about 60 delegates take part, including politicians, traditional and religious leaders, alongside representatives of the civil society, displaced communities, women and the youth.
This forum clearly indicates our acceptance and that we are beginning to build confidence in order to have peace in South Sudan. I am very optimistic about this. Regarding the diverse community society that have come to this forum, I am very confident and I'm optimistic. And the way we are working together as one family for one purpose, that is peace.
I feel the workshop allow us to own the peace. Like before, when people were not engaged, they feel the peace is for those who sign, like the government, the IO, and the other parties. But now bringing the grassroots, they feel the part and parcel of this revitalized peace agreement.
Still to come on the program. The UN Security Council unanimously passed a resolution to inspect vessels on the high seas off the coast of Libya suspected of migrant smuggling. That's in a moment. Stay with us.